Hello, Elvises. So we're going to be reading more poems from Shel Silverstein's Where the Sidewalk Ends. So we're just going to get started. Boa constrictor. Oh, I'm being eaten by a boa constrictor. A boa constrictor, a boa constrictor. I'm being eaten by a boa constrictor, and I don't like it one bit. Well, what do you know? It's nibbling my toe. Oh, gee, it's up to my knee. Oh, my, it's up to my thigh. Oh, fiddle, it's up to my middle. Oh, heck, it's up to my neck. Oh, dread, it's And then here's the picture of the boa. Sick. I cannot go to school today, said little Peggy Ann McKay. I have the measles and the mumps, a gash, a rash, and purple bumps. My mouth is wet, my throat is dry. I'm going blind in my right eye. My tonsils are big as rocks. I've counted 16 chicken pox. And there's one more, that's 17. And don't you think my face looks green? My leg is cut, my eyes are blue. It might be asthmatic flu. I cough and sneeze and gasp and choke. I'm sure that my left leg is broke. My hip hurts when I move my chin. My belly button's caving in. My back is wrenched, my ankle's sprained. My appendix pains each time it rains. My nose is cold, my toes are numb. I have a silver in my thumb. My neck is stiff, my voice is weak. I hardly whisper when I speak. My tongue is filling up my mouth. I think my hair is falling out. My elbow's bent, my spine ain't straight. My temperature is 108. My brain is shrunk, I cannot hear. There is a hole inside my ear. I have a hangnail and my heart is, what? What's that? What's that you say? You say today is Saturday? Goodbye, I'm going out to play. Peanut butter sandwich. I'll sing you a poem of a silly young king who played with the world at the end of a string, but he only loved one single thing, and that was a peanut butter sandwich. His scepter and his royal gowns, his regal throne and golden crowns, were brown and sticky from the mounds and drippings from each peanut butter sandwich. His subjects all were silly fools, for he had passed a royal rule that all that they could learn in school was how to make a peanut butter sandwich. He would not eat his sovereign steak, he scorned his soup and kingly cake, and told his courtly cook to bake an extra sticky peanut butter sandwich. And then one day he took a bite and started chewing with delight, but found his mouth was stuck quite tight from the last bite of a peanut butter sandwich. His brother pulled, his sister pried, the wizard pushed, his mother cried, my boy's committed suicide from eating his last peanut butter sandwich. The dentist came in the royal dock, the royal plumber banged and knocked, but still those jaws stayed tightly locked. Oh, darn that peanut butter sandwich. The carpenter he tried with pliers, the telephone man tried with wires, the firemen they tried with fire, but couldn't melt that peanut butter sandwich. With ropes and pulleys, drills and coil, with steam and lubricating oil, for 20 years of tears and toil, they fought that awful peanut butter sandwich. Then all his royal subjects came, they hooked his jaws with grappling chains, and pulled both ways with might and main against that stubborn peanut butter sandwich. Each man and woman, girl and boy, put down their ploughs and pots and toys, and pulled until, crack, oh joy, they broke right through that peanut butter sandwich. A puff of dust, a screech, a squeak, the king's jaws opened with a creak, and then in voice so faint and weak, the first words that they heard him speak were, how about a peanut butter sandwich? If the world was crazy. If the world was crazy, you know what I'd eat? A big slice of soup and a whole quart of meat, a lemonade sandwich, and then I might try some roasted ice cream or a bicycle pie, a nice notebook salad, an underwear roast, an omelet of hats, and some crisp cardboard roast. A thick malted milk made from pencils and daisies, and that's what I'd eat if the world was crazy. If the world was crazy, you know what I'd wear? A chocolate suit and a tie of eclair, some marshmallow earmuffs, some licorice shoes, and I'd read a paper of peppermint news. I'd call the boys Susie and I'd call the girls Harry. I'd talk through my ears and I would always carry a paper umbrella for when it grew hazy to keep in the rain if the world was crazy. If the world was crazy, you know what I'd do? I'd walk on the ocean and swim in my shoe. I'd fly through the ground and I'd skip through the air. I'd run down the bathtub and bathe on the stair. When I met somebody, I'd say, goodbye, Joe. And when I was leaving, then I'd say hello. And the greatest of men would be silly and lazy, so I would be king if the world was crazy. Hungry Mungry. Hungry Mungry sat at supper, took his knife and spoon and fork, ate a bowl of mushroom soup, ate a slice of roasted pork. Ate a dozen stewed tomatoes, 27 deviled eggs, 15 shrimps, 9 baked potatoes, 32 fried chicken legs, a shank of lamb, a boiled ham, 2 bowls of grits, some black-eyed peas, 4 chocolate shakes, 8 angel cakes, 9 custard pies with Munster cheese, 10 pots of tea, and after he had eaten all the way he was able, he poured some broth on the tablecloth and ate the kitchen table. His parents said, "Oh, hungry Mungie, stop these silly jokes." Mungery opened up his mouth and gulp, he ate his folks. And then he went and ate his house, all the bricks and wood, and then he ate up all the people in the neighborhood. Up came 20 angry policemen shouting, "Stop and seize." Mungery opened up his mouth and gulp, he ate the police. Soldiers came with tanks and guns, said Mungery. They can't harm me. He just smiled and licked his lips and ate the U.S. Army. The president sent all his bombers. Mungery still was calm, put his head back, gulped the planes, and gobbled up the bomb. He ate his town and ate the city, ate and ate and ate, and then he said, "I think I'll eat the whole United States." And so he ate Chicago first and munched the water tower, and then he chewed on Pittsburgh, but he found it rather sour. He ate New York and Tennessee and all of Boston town, then drank the Mississippi River just to wash it down. And when he'd eaten every state, each puppy, boy and girl, he wiped his mouth upon his sleeve and went to eat the world. He ate the Egypt pyramids and every church in Rome, and all the grass in Africa and all the ice in Nome. He ate each hill in green Brazil, and then to make things worse, he decided for dessert he'd eat the universe. He started with the moon and stars, and soon as he was done, he gulped the clouds. He sipped the wind and gobbled up the sun. Then sitting there in the cold dark air, he started to nibble his feet. Then his legs, then his hips, then his neck, then his lips. Till he sat there just gnashing teeth, 'cause nothing was nothing, was nothing, was nothing, was nothing was left to eat. So this concludes our poems for today. I'll have more for tomorrow.